called into the streets with all of us today. Communication and through unity we can overcome any obstacle. This coalition, joining many coalitions together, is an indication that if you guys every day, because it's more than just a protest, it's making policy, it's the day-to-day behind the scenes, the phone calls, the budget reading, everything, guys. We all have to be together. Thank you so much.
We're going to slow procession. We're going to slow march. And we're going to remember that this is also a celebration of his life. So we're going to make them feel everything, the full spectrum of human emotion that they tried to deny black folks. Right? And there's people here that celebrate his life with joy.
Say his name! Say his name!
2 years ago, February 4th, 2018, 15-year-old Anthony Weber was to come out, but if you are not following us, we organized with the family, we organized in the same violence for 9 months old, and you gotta think about that, this child is 4 years old. By the time that Anthony was on your Instagram, follow @Community Control Police. We are with the broad public that knows y'all by show love. My daughter, I'm serious. Oh God, she's having the roughest week ever. She got tear gas, and then after that, every single time that she stepped out. Exhale, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do one more round of that, and I want you to dig really deep belly up. And I actually just call on the end of the y'all can be louder than that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Dijon Kizzee. Dijon Kizzee. Say his name. 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 Dijon Kizzee. Oh shit. What? As we stand up against that part of how we get organized for a revolution that can overthrow this whole system.
They used to be at UCLA all the time. They probably
No fascist police state!
no fascist police state!
Trump head out now!
Trump head out now!
No fascist police state! At this point, as my husband Julie would say, she is not a soldier out here, she's a sergeant out here.
got your L, I got your L. M, I got your M, I got your M. Black Lives Matter.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter. M-B-O-B. Give me that L.
L, I got your L, I got your L.
Give me that M. And what's that mean? Black Lives Matter. So what's that mean? Black Lives Matter. Oh, what's that mean? Black Lives Matter. I said, give me that B. Now give me that L. Now give me that M.
I got your L.
Now what's that mean?
A Black Lives Matter.
Now what's that mean?
A Black Lives Matter.
What's that mean?
A Black Lives Matter.
Dijon Kizzee.
Dijon Kizzee. Dijon Kizzee.
Everybody, no justice!
No peace.
No racism!
Police.
I said no justice!
No peace.
No racism!
Police. No peace. Police.
Dijon Kizzee. Guilty as hell. I said the whole damn system is guilty as hell. I said the whole damn system is guilty as hell. I said it again. Come back, stand me. Everybody who's watching it, I'm going in with this son. Get in the street, guys. Put that in. Into the street.
Justice for Dijon Kizzee.
They'll figure it out eventually.
Inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. And as you inhale, you remind yourself that there's a miracle there, that there's a breath there. Exhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale for 3. 1.
Some of you call him provider. Some of you call him I am. Some of you call him different names other than this. You might call him Yahweh. You might call him the lawyer in the courtroom, the doctor in the hospital. You might call him the comforter when I need comforting. Whatever you call him, we're going to do that in that name. First of all, I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes.
Inhale, hold for 3, and then release for 3. You ready? This is our final breath together. Collectively inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3.
Scripture says, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power. Say power. But of love and a sound mind. And a sound mind. So we out here to give God some praise, some honor, and the glory, because everything we asking for is going to black men. Stop killing black men. Stop killing black men. This is our request to you. as myself. And then you knew you were closed in your love. He was adored and loved. He had a beautiful, huge. So I want y'all to please give your love to my sister, Miss Demetra Johnson, his mother, the woman who made him and put him out here and raised him, her baby. I can tell you right now, AJ is smiling down on us right now. He would love this. He was all about bringing people together. I was born and raised in this community, so I don't care what the sheriff says or who he trots up there and say you're not welcome. You're 100% welcome. But he was 16 years old, unarmed, shot 16 times. And the sheriff gave an interview the other day, and I heard a reporter ask him, what he gonna do about Dijon Kizzee? He don't give a damn about Ryan Twyman or Andre Squadado. It's too many of us to name, but he don't care. So we have. So again, I'm standing out here with the Dijon Kizzee family. He's a friend of the family as well. So he's my family too. Thank you. AJ Weber. Now, Sheriff Villanueva, he says that we are outside agitators, that we do not belong in this community, and that we are not welcome here, and that we are the cause of the problem. Anthony Weber was killed on 107th Street in Budlong by these sheriffs out of South LA Station, 2 blocks away from where they killed Dijon. Who is the outside agitators? Who is the problem in this community? Who is the terrorists in this neighborhood? If you live in Los Angeles County, the county of Los Angeles, if you live in Los Angeles County, raise your hand. Where is the church? Where does his deputies come from? We want the names, the addresses, the identification of the deputies that killed Dijon Kizzee today.
I'm not a protest right now. I gotta call you later.
And we're not going to stop there. We want the name and the address of every deputy in that department that works in this county. We want to know where their children go to school. We want to know where their mothers do their grocery shopping. We want to know where their grandmothers go to church. We want the jacket on every one of these deputies. We want to know what gang they belong to. We want order over the sheriff's deputies that live and operate and terrorize this community. Y'all know about us, Caravan for Justice? Out here fighting for people in the streets. We take it all the way to Orange County and back. Because everybody, everywhere, there's a lot of racism.
Now somebody has photos of me that I could never put in the car. And I simply just said, you're showing us ridiculous because he kept shutting me. So if that's an arrestable offense,
There's people out here who fought the Martin Luther King. We're still fighting for the same thing happening years later.
My cousin, Dijon Kizzee, and I just want to keep it going until justice and the police department they fire. Thank y'all, everybody.
We eventually, of course, moved to East LA. Anybody from East Los here? I'm proud to say that I lived in the best of both worlds, South LA and East LA. White, even though I'm a little light, you know. We're down with the brown. We're down with the black folks. But in East LA, we got the same animal, the sheriffs, on the back of our neck. Yeah. The sheriffs have killed Paul Rea, Anthony Vargas, shot him in the back. Anthony Vargas,
They came up, said there was a robbery at the local gas station, at the local 7-Eleven by the prime suspect. I'm sorry. Bullshit, you're sorry. Right? They killed Paul Rea in the back. They killed Edwin Rodriguez. I can go on and on and on. The sheriffs in East LA are an occupying force. They think they own East LA. They drive around and act like it. They stop you, harass you with no probable cause, no crime. So, that's right. You know, they're killing us, so we're united. We protested at the East LA sheriffs a bunch of times, and they always come out fully armed. But we have the mom, the family, all the families get up in front of them and yell at them and denounce them for being asesinos. Asesinos, Spanish for murderers. Let's yell at them one time. Let's see. Asesinos. Right, then they fire up, put charges on them, and then they start turning against them. So I got it from reliable sources. Alex Villanueva, emergency LA Sheriff's Station years ago. You can look it up. Killed and brutalized our families for years. It is a gang. You all know about all the gangs now, right? It's all the LA Times. You know, and I remember back in the 90s fighting against the Vikings gang in Linwood. We've been at this thing a long time. We're going to keep fighting the Linwood Vikings gang with murdering and killing people. They had all these investigations and reform and everything, right? And we're still at it. But Alex Villanueva, fuck Alex Villanueva. Fuck Alex Villanueva. Fuck the fucking sheriffs. They're an occupying force, and we're going to fight and unite. And we support the demand for community control of the police. We need that power, right? But you know what? Coming from the 60s, learning from not the police, but what I was going to put out is political power. Black folks, black people, I demand black power. Come on, let's do it. Are y'all for black power? Because if black people are free to have power, we'll all be free. If black people are free, we'll all be free. And you're right, I support a revolution in this country. We got to build a revolution, so you all got to unite. You got to organize. And like the sister said, you all got to vote. But we got to join organizations. Join community organizations. An Asian woman who was a traitor for the indigenous was join Confronting. Contact the Native people, right? So for him to call, you know, create a revolution in this country, it may not be overnight. You know, back in the 60s, working with the Black Panther Party and the Brown Berets, we thought the revolution was coming in a couple of years. We didn't think we'd live beyond 30 years old. And Elridge Cleaver told us, don't trust anybody over 30 years old. And all of a sudden, we're 34 years old. Well, shit, we got old. But we're here committed to the revolution, to building a community organization to demand community control of the police. Out with Villanueva, stop the police killings, unite.
Let's just give a little bit of context. As far as black folks, I saw a picture last night on Facebook going around. And I just had to marvel. You have to start from that point. When you talk about how black folks are treated, when you talk about Black Lives Matter, you have to understand that black folks, we are nothing but a few generations. And it was a tall black man, and he was standing beside just piles of slop on the ground. And it was talking about how in the not so distant days where black folks or real estate property in this country, the people in power would eat the best and most delicious and nurturing parts of the animal and then leave the slop on the ground. They fed black folks. When I say like dogs, I don't mean like with the respect, because they love dogs, right? They love right? Black folks are the ones who got this damn country. Black folks are the reason that the United States works. So when they can ride into this neighborhood and say that they are so you have to understand the language of violence that they speak so fluently. demonstrators. They ain't finna smash on shit. And they still treated us like dogs. And they still were violent with us. So do not think that, we come out here in the spirit of peace. We're not gonna throw no bottles. We're not gonna give them a reason. But I'm telling you, don't believe the narrative. They're gonna demonize us anyway. And that's why it's important for all of us to be out here and stand with these families. Because I understand my privilege. I'm speaking about my child.
Everybody who wants to be in the world, whether the Dijon Kizzee family living on the floor, should be agitated. Everybody who wants to generate the voice without leaving the world, without coming out of their back, should be agitated.
He must be going for sergeant.
Well, I want to shout out this young sister anyway, because she was out there bravely facing tear gas and speaking out against the attacks on people that happened last Saturday.
In the 90s for being refugees, coming from a fucked up system in a whole different part of the world, and then we share spaces with our indigenous people whose lands were robbed that we sit in and stand in today, with different dialects, different languages, because we're all different shades and colors and sizes and ages. And we had a vision that we wanted to build off of the best practices and successes from the trailblazers in our previous generations, but we wanted to learn from their mistakes. And for that, I want to start off by thanking God, number one, for giving us this day. Number two, I want to thank all these youngsters. Let's give it up for the new generation. The generation that has capitalized, that has mobilized, that has grown this movement bigger and larger than any movement, than any one race. Our brother got up here and talked about that human race. And there's been a lot of education, even in the brown community, on why Black lives matter. Because all lives matter. So how inappropriate it is to just say brown lives matter too. Or how about all lives matter. So a lot of education, a lot of dialogue, a lot of this sitting down about interracial couples and babies that we've all created. Because we're in the greatest country that we call Los Angeles. I'm going to call this our own country. We have created this. You look at the original creators of the city of Los Angeles, and they looked like all of us here. It did not look like that shit behind us right there. That is the biggest cop-out, pun intended, sellouts that we have seen. And many of us have tried to work with them. Today, it's at the sheriff. In Daniel Hernandez's case, in South Central LA, it was LAPD. Where I grew up at in Rampart, where my big homie Alex Sanchez, who you're gonna hear from in a moment, from Homies Unidos, where we grew up with, it was a Rampart scandal. They made fucking movies out of it. You wanna watch one? Denzel's in it. Check out Training Day. Figure out, connect the dots where that comes from. Unfortunately, this shit ain't a movie, this is real life. And a lot of us have lived it and survived it and have fought for it and have even come to the compromising table, to the negotiation table, where they always ran the budget, where they always ran the politicians and shit. Okay, stolen land. And so we're here to remember all of the families are done. Just like COVID has taught us there's no going back, so has this revolution. So has this movement, and like LeBron said, so has this lifestyle. Because I might not be black, but let me tell you, I've hurt enough times to lose black family members and black friends, right? And that shit hurts. And we've been to too many of these already.
As the pigs have gone down there and trained the police officers for those countries how to brutalize our communities. They've been doing it. That's why you have thousands upon thousands of unaccompanied minors coming up here.